Alright folks, just for kicks, let's try the ZMAN tube. I don't know what's the name of this. It looks very nice, but I mean it's a little too big. Already the other lure was too big, the head is too big. The head is perfect for this size lure, but the whole thing is a little big. The wire of the hook is big. The only thing that will eat this is some decent sized crappie. Maybe some bass that's wandering around here. There's gotta be some bass. Things is splashing around. All the boats are fishing for white bass. I'm the only one fishing for penfish. Now I don't think I might catch some crappie with this thing. It has no action, so you gotta give it the action. I might catch some crappie, but I tied this for the mooring sails down there, and I think the boats are gone. So I'm gonna fish this a few times, just give it 5 minutes here, because I know there is a lot of small fish here. I'm wondering if they can eat this. Then we're gonna go down to the mooring sails and try it for bass. I had something for a second, but it's kind of big, so that's how it's gonna be. Maybe I snagged something too. I'm hoping some crappie will eat this, but that's about it. Something ate it on the first cast. The big tube, yep, crappie. Yeah, crappie. The big tube, man. Big tube with the big hook. He ate it. He ate it. That's good. It spit out because it was barely hooked. He kind of nipped it, but that's a good crab here. That is a good crab. Another fish. On the big tube. On the big tube. To tell you the truth, it was better than the little ZMAN with the float. Seems like moving on the bottom is the secret. That here is a good crappie. In any state. I don't care what your standards are. And this here, my friends, just look at him flopping. This here, my friends, is a good crappie. He ate the tube. He gone. No, the tube is gone. Look at this big tube. I want to bump this one. Does it have what it takes to touch 13? No, he doesn't. Man, this fish is so fat. Sometimes I get surprised. That's a big fish, man. The way he was flared all the fins. Now he doesn't look 13. He's 12 and a half. But for a moment I was sure he's like close to 14 when he was in the water. Because all of the fins were flared like this. That's interesting. I have like 3 feet of clear fluorocarbon here. And otherwise I'm using Chinese rod, Chinese reel, and Gosen Lumina Shine fishing line. By the way, you know I love Varivas, but I can tell you Gosen Lumina Shine is a line that either feels identically to the Varivas polyester, maybe they even made in the same factory. Because you know how things are. There's 1, 2, 3 factories that make fishing line. Everybody else just gives them orders. And they put different dye and different pounds. But this is excellent line. I don't like the color, but this rod is only green accents on the first place. So the color matches the rod perfectly. I got bluegill nibbles there now for a second. My point was, the orange polyester from Varivas only goes to 2.1 pounds. If you want a 3-pound polyester, this green line from Gosen Lumina Shine has 3 pounds. This right here is 3 pounds. So you can use it for bass fishing too. White bass fishing. You can use it for other stuff. I got so many bites here, and at the end I didn't connect. Just a bunch of yapping. I connected after all, right under the boat, and that's another slow fish. That's another slow fish. The big tube, man. I'm telling you, easier to catch them with the big tube than with the float and the little ZMAN. Big tube. Big tube is giving them the business. I don't have any other lures with me to try. Stop it, stop it, Jude. I'll let you go, don't worry. They keep coming off this hook. They keep coming off. I haven't had to unhook one of these crappie. And we're still working with penfish. Wait until we go down to hit the mooring sails. Maybe there's a crappie by the wall. Let's begin. Nibbles. I'm getting more nibbles with this bluegill nibbles than the float. Look at this. On the big tube. If you told me the big tube can work like this, if you told me the big tube, maybe because it's heavy, it's easier to catch them even than the small thing. Because it's a 2 gram, sinks to the bottom fast. If I was fishing a tournament right now for number of fish, gotta tell you, out of the 3 things that I tried, the big tube is catching them the fastest for the simple reason that it's sinking the fastest. Look. Now for a lure that's not being crazy glued, this thing hasn't moved at all yet. If you don't have crazy glue, it's not a big deal. We on the bottom yet? We must be. Nibble right away. That was probably bluegill-ated. It felt like I got a bluegill. It's not too late. The last 2 crappie, not the last, but I got a few right by the boat. And I got another one by the boat. The drag on this Chinese reel improved so much. It's still carbon drag, but improved a lot when I put thick grease for trailer axles. That's what I put on it, and it improved the consistency a lot. My only regret is I didn't remove well enough the original grease. So now I have 2 kind of grease. I didn't care too much. Now this gotta go 13. This has got to go 13. Okay, I will admit it's only 13 if you really stretch it. Like if you're desperate. You get the idea. It's up to you. Again, right under the boat. I don't know what's wrong with my live scope. I should be able to see this fish. I see a bunch of other fish, not the fish I've hooked. The other day I had a huge catfish, or who knows what it was. That was like a 2-foot fish. I couldn't see it on live scope. Now this here, now we are talking. Now we are talking. Now this is actually something that shellcracker, I think, like to eat. Look here, what a shellcracker, folks. Come on, come on. Come on. Look here, what a shellcracker. That is a good shellcracker. Let me bump him on the board. I did catch once a 10-inch shell cracker in Illinois, out of nowhere. I'm fishing for crappie in a lake that I didn't know. That's the only shell cracker I ever caught on that lake. No, it's only 9. It's only 9 and it's severely stretched. But I caught one shell cracker out of nowhere and it was 10 inches. Okay, I see slack. I must be on the bottom. No bite yet. The last few times I got bluegill bites right away. Another thing. Another slow fish is not gonna be a bluegill. Okay. We're gonna be boat flipping this one until I finally lose my jig head, because my knot will give away. That's a little gyro. By the way, the number one reason for me losing jig heads is not actually snags. Believe it or not, number one reason is for me boat flipping 10 inchers. Exactly 10 inchers. 10 inchers are a very weird size. 11 inchers I reach for the net. 9 inchers I boat flip no problem. But these 10 inchers, man, I'm lazy. I try to boat flip them every now and then. And the line just snaps and there goes my G head. And how much does a 10-inch weigh? You know, maybe half a pound. So the problem is when you fish a while, your line is nowhere near close the maximum strength that you may have on it out of the box. Is another good slabic. So if you want to land the fish, with this kind of line, I don't care if it's 2-pound or 3-pound line, I wouldn't put more than half a pound if you want to land the fish. Now, sometimes when I get hung and I need to break, so I pull hard, it just so happens that the line there is no nick anywhere, and I really need to put like 2 pounds of force, which seems like incredibly huge force to break ultralight line. So I get it. Sometimes you pull 2 pounds and it still doesn't break. I get it. But sometimes you pull a little crappie, the line snaps from the knot over there or right where the knot where you tied it, and there goes $2. This one is right next to I need to change the angle of the boat. Cast like this, it keeps going there. I want to cast a little bit more open water. Okay. What is next? I'm waiting. I gotta admit, I'm waiting for the moment I'm gonna catch a 2-pound bass. There has to be some kind of bass here, white bass, something. With all of this panfish, where is the true predator? And now I have a juicy bait. Here is another slab. Now I have a juicy bait. With this juicy bait, you gotta catch something nice. This might be my first bluegill on the... I was just talking about you. I was just talking about where is the nuisance fish in this river. I was like, they have to be here. What is this? Too soon to tell. Maybe spotted, maybe largemouth, maybe even some mixed with smallmouth. There is. Decent. Decent. Come on. How do I go the other side of this stupid barb? Man, the first bite from this fish, he hit like a big bass. He hit hard. Oh man. What happened? Business is dying down. There he is, right here. Right under the boat. That will be the last fish for now. On this spot. Let's land him and go down by the mooring sails. He is a decent crab. He is a decent crab. No problem. Decent crab. Alright, let's go down. Wow, that's amazing. There were so many fish here in the morning. Now there is almost nothing. There is very few. They're right on the bottom. See if we can catch a couple more with the Big Daddy. Let's catch 2 more fish, anything, and we call it a video. It's actually gonna rain in 20 minutes, but very light rain, and I have raincoat, so the rain is definitely, I don't want to blame the weather. Weather is gorgeous. Let's try again. I'm really not twitching it. This big word, nibble. There it is. I'm not twitching it, I'm just slowly pulling it steady and then a couple of twitches, but it's not like the trout magnet tick 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 the whole time. Another little slow fish. They still have colors here because the water is 53 degrees. 10 degrees lower Bedford. One more fish. One more fish. Yeah. We are going home. Whatever this is. And this might be, I thought I was gonna say the first ever bluegill on this lure, because it's pretty big for bluegill, but it isn't. It's a crappie. Alright folks, thanks for watching. So far these 2 lures are alright. The Big Z and the little ugly thing, the smallest thing, they are both alright. This one I didn't even trim. With a 2-gram Chinese jig head that I showed you, looks good. I caught a bunch of fish. If you have crappie around, it is not too big for them at all. I don't need to cut it, trim it, do nothing. And this one is quite alright. And without crazy glue, I fished it all day. Not all day, but quite a few hours. Still looks good, man, even without crazy glue. Alright, thanks for checking this video. See you soon. Bye bye. I'm getting out of here. Believe you me.